Welcome to DR50. The two words you fear most: hard work. I'm a little hoarse because I've been working hard. Now, the theme of today is going to be that hard work, and it's something that most people run from. Most people are afraid of. Most people don't want to embrace because it's uncomfortable. Hard work is uncomfortable, whether it's physical hard work, whether it's a lot of tasks. Morning, Andrew. Whether it's a lot of tasks, whether it's physical hard work, you name it, people don't like hard work. Just yesterday, I was watching an interview. I appreciate the show Ellen because Ellen works hard. She's a hard worker. She's good at what she does and she works for it. And Ben Affleck was on. And Ben Affleck was talking about a show that he just produced on Netflix. And I realized, I look at actors, I look at musicians, Adele, random people that I look at, not just famous, but people in my own life I look at and I think, man, I feel something for that person. And I realized yesterday that the thing I feel for that person is that I respect their work. I don't care what it is. I'm not a fan of Adele's music. I like her catchy songs, but that's about as far as it goes. Ben Affleck, yeah, I like his movies. He's not my favorite. But I respect the stinking work that they put in. And they don't run from it. Most people run from it. And I don't know if it's a coincidence, a sign, or whatever, but in today's reading, again, I'm reading Relentless: From Good to Great to Unstoppable. In today's reading, it's about hard work. The author, Tim Grover, talks about hard work. And there's a lot to say in this one, so I'm going to get right to it. So he says, making it to the top is not the same as making it to the top. True for any business. Getting the job done doesn't mean you're keeping the job. Winning the client doesn't mean he's staying forever. So when I got to the UFC, that was my dream, to get to the UFC. But there was a harsh reality that I quickly learned when I got there. Okay, I'm in the UFC, but every guy here is on the same playing field. And what the author is saying there, once you make it to the top, it's not the same as making it to the top. Even at the top, there's a hierarchy of good, better, and best. There's a hierarchy, as this book says, of coolers, closers, and cleaners. So getting there doesn't mean anything. Getting there is the first step in the journey. And he talks about professional athletes and how they sign their big contracts, how that often is their downfall because they forget what got them there. And the next thing I want to touch on is this idea of getting lucky. Not, getting lucky, that person's lucky. And this is what the author says, and this really struck a chord to me. He says, cleaner law. And again, cleaners are those people who are the best of the best, who don't complain, who are silent professionals, who get the work done over and over and over again. Don't depend on other people to do things for them, but get it done themselves. And he says, cleaner law. When you reduce your competition to whining that you got lucky, you know you're doing something right. When you reduce your competition to saying that you got lucky, you know you're doing something right. He says, there are no shortcuts and there is no luck. People always say good luck in pressure situations. It's not about luck. This is one of my favorite concepts that I've read in the book, because as I said before, people love to stand on the outside and point the finger that you got lucky. I got lucky that I beat Rick Story. You know what? No, I didn't get lucky. I was fortunate to fall into a situation that then illustrated the hard work and the preparation that I put into my journey, that I put into my life. So you may be put in situations, but there is no such thing as luck. If you don't have that infrastructure that I talk about every single day. I just did my first interview with Fighter's Mindset, the Spaniard podcast, yesterday. It'll be coming out next week. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but we are very similar people. And he touched on this idea that you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to have an unwavering belief in yourself to accomplish things that you dream of accomplishing. But that belief in yourself is worth nothing if there's not an infrastructure, if there's not the substance in yourself, be it physically, be it mentally, be it whatever. You have to earn that belief. If you sit on the couch and you believe that you're going to be in the NBA or the NFL, it's not going to happen. You're not putting in the work. So this idea of people getting lucky and luck, it's unacceptable. It's wrong. It is said by people on the sidelines who are not putting in the work. Get down, get dirty, get sweaty. Do the stinking work. The next thing I want to touch on, and this is an awesome question that really struck me. So the author, I can't find it right. Can't find it exactly. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Okay, so we all want something more. Not all of us, but if you're watching this video, you probably want something more. What is it? Is it money? Is it a promotion? Is it a marriage? Whatever it is. And he says this. He says, and this struck a chord. He said, ask yourself honestly, what would you have to sacrifice to have what you really want? Your social life, relationships, credit cards, free time, sleep? Now, answer this question. What are you willing to sacrifice? What would you have to? Make a list. What are you willing to sacrifice? And he said, if those two lists don't match up, then you don't want it bad enough. All of the things, hey Tyler, thanks for tuning in, buddy. You have to identify those things, and you have to say, do they match up? Ask yourself honestly, what would you have to sacrifice to have what you really want? Would you give it up? What I really want is to provide a life for my wife and my family that affords them every benefit, every experience that I want for them. So what do you have to do? You have a kid, guess what? You got to get up early in the morning. You have a job, you work 9 to 6. Guess what? You got to get up early. You got to get your workout in. You got to do the extra job that you might be working on. There's no excuse. There's no substitute for this hard work that we're talking about. So it's uncomfortable. Part of this theme is uncomfortability and growth. Look in the mirror, make a list. What would you have to sacrifice? Is it getting up at 4:30 in the morning? For me, it is, yes, because I know what I want. Do you know what you want? And are you willing to sacrifice to get it? And I don't want this to be fluff. I don't want to be a motivational guy who just, rah-rahs you and then says goodbye. No, there is substance. There is hard work. There is a system to get it done. And I'll touch off with one last theme of this hard work day. He says, in anything you do, and this is dealing with people who are pointing the finger, right? In anything you do, it takes no talent to work hard. It takes no talent to work hard. You just have to want it. It takes no talent to work hard. You just have to want it, period. I train a kid here locally, high school kid, pretty good athlete, not an all-state, not a state champion, but this kid works as hard as anyone that I've ever trained, as anyone that I've ever seen train. He might not have the most talent in the world, but he made a commitment that he's going to work hard. And if he can make a commitment to work hard, why can't you make a commitment? Don't run from the work, embrace it. Go looking for it like a dog trying to sniff out a bone. Go sniff out the hard work and attack it. You've got to believe in yourself, but you've got to build that infrastructure within yourself, within your mind and within your body. And the way you do that is through hard work. So thank you very much for tuning in today. It's now 5:38. This is DR50. 2 words, hard work. I'm really excited. Yesterday, I conducted my first interview for A Fighter's Mindset, the Spaniard podcast. It will be coming out next week. I'll fill you in on the details. I hope you come back every day. Until then, I can tell you specifically when it's coming out, but it is with one of my heroes. Thanks, Andrew. It's with one of my heroes, one of the guys who has influenced me most in my life, who I guarantee will shed a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of value on you. So if you haven't already, visit charlie-brenneman.com/podcast. Subscribe on iTunes. I'll be coming at you every day until then. But until then, have a great one. Carpe diem. Fight well. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Since it's a Saturday, let's do this at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'll see you here. Have a great day. Work hard.